Hi and welcome. This will be a restorative practice just to open up the thoracic spine, maybe to ease neck tension and just rest and restore. Something the body needs quite often, especially in the busy world that we live in. So we're going to start standing. As far as props, 2 blocks and a strap or a dog leash or 2 just thick books. And then a blanket, which could also be a beach towel or just a normal blanket. And 2 bolsters if you have them. Those could also be thick rolled up blankets or a firm pillow or couch cushion. So just having some of those props available throughout the practice. We're going to start at the wall. So you will need a little wall space as well. And so I'm going to just show you it from the profile view so you can see how things are lined up. So you'll come to the wall. Hands will be about shoulder distance apart. And then we do want the wrists lining up with the shoulders, just like they would be if you were down on your mat in a plank position. Just finding that initial alignment first. So fingers spread nice and wide, shoulder height. And then from here, we'll walk the feet back, keep them hip width distance. And we do want the hip points to be relatively right over the ankles, or actually the top of the greater trochanter, which is the top of the thigh, upper thigh here. You've got your fingers spread wide. You'll just let your chest pour through. And then you can keep your ears alongside the upper arms, gaze down. And then once you find the position, go ahead and wrap the elbows down and in toward each other. Upper back, shoulder blades glide toward each other, kind of broaden on the back. And then we'll just hang out here and breathe. Face is soft. You could have a little micro bend in these here. This is also a great way to get the feel of down dog if you have sensitive wrists. So you can always do this at the wall. Okay, to let the eyes close and steady your breath. A few more rounds of breath. And then slowly open the eyes if they're closed and make your way all the way back up to standing. You can roll the shoulders back. Okay, From here, let's just do a couple neck stretches. So you'll take your chin down toward your chest. Let the arms just relax by the sides. Shoulders softly pull away from the ears. If you want a little bit more weight to the stretch, you could interlace your fingers behind the base of the skull and draw your elbows in toward each other. And we're not pulling on the neck, we're just using the weight of the arms to add a little bit more intensity to the stretch. Let the hands fall away. Back down to the sides, keep the chin tucked, and then take your right ear over to the right shoulder. Chin to chest, left ear, left shoulder. Back to the other side, chin to chest, right ear, right shoulder. One to the other side. And then just your last one here. And bring the head back to neutral. Now's the time we grab hold of a strap or a dog leash. And take the whatever you have. Make fists around the strap. And the strap can be a little wider than your shoulders. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, bend the elbows, squeeze the upper back. Inhale, reach back up. Exhale, arms in front. Shoulder height. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, elbows bend. Inhale, back up. Exhale, arms in front. Inhale, reach back up. Exhale, elbows bend. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, arms come all the way down. Go ahead, shorten the strap up a little bit so the strap becomes more shoulder width distance apart. As you take an in breath, reach the strap up. And then go ahead and take the torso to the right, hips can go left. Breathe into your left side body. Come up through center and switch sides. And come up again, over to the right, and up again, over to the left. And then come back up, arms in front. Ditch the strap. Okay, now let's come on down to our mat. And we're going to grab our blanket and just make the blanket or whatever you have here, a towel. We want it to be in like a skinny little roll here. So you would take it out a little bit wider. And then make this into this little skinny burrito. This is gonna come down on the mat and go right underneath the bra strap. So if you're a guy, you'll know perhaps the bra strap is right underneath the shoulder blades. So once there, you can come down and have that blanket rest there. And then the shoulder blades are up and over the blanket. And the blanket comes out right under here, under the armpit. So the blanket should be below the shoulder girdle. And then you can take the arms out to the sides, let the legs just be wide and feet fall to either side. You could have an eye pillow on the eyes. We'll be here for a couple minutes and then we'll add on, so just settle in. Just make any little adjustments you need to fully surrender to gravity. The only thing you have to do here is just be in stillness. And you're just breathing the natural way you would breathe. So it's more of the body being breathed. And the goal of a restorative practice is to relax, to restore. And relax the space between the eyebrows, jaw. Take an inhale in and exhale, sigh. Just gently and slowly roll to one side. And use the top hand to press you all the way up to a seat. And then we're going to add on. So if you like, you can have the blanket come up to where the neck might rest, or the back of the head. And then you're going to take the first bolster. The most important, so if you only have one, the most important one would be under the bra strap where we just were. We're just adding a little bit more height. And the other one can go underneath the knees. But certainly this does not have to be here. The most important is that we're continuing to work on opening up the chest, shoulders. And so this brings you into also just more of a back bend here. Just adjust things as you need to. After we hold this pose for a bit, I'm going to tell you to kick the bolster or whatever you have here under the knees away. So just know that's coming. But for now, we'll just start here. Again, the bolster is lower than the shoulder blades. You can take the arms out to the sides and then settle in, and I'll start the clock. See if you're holding on to any tension in the body. Perhaps there's somewhere you could relax a bit more, become a bit more heavy. Continue to stay. But bend the knees and press the bolster out of the way. And then you can take the soles of the feet together and knees nice and wide for Supta Baddha Konasana. So make sure your chin is tucked, and then you can take your hands on the outer knees and draw the knees in toward each other. And then you'll just roll off to your right or left side. Take a moment there. Nothing is rushed here in this restorative practice. And use the top hand to gently press yourself up to a seat. And then we'll go ahead and move one of those bolsters out to the side. And go ahead and refold the blanket. And now we're going to get the blocks out. Put one toward the end of the mat on a high setting, the next on the middle. And we'll take the bolster at an incline. And then you do want this end of the bolster to be down, touching on the mat. So just adjust as you need to. And then to make it a little bit more supported, you could take the blanket over the heels just to add a little extra padding and support. And we'll come to the supported child's pose. So hips sit back. Then you can take your left ear down to the mat or your right. And just let the chest, the torso be supported by the bolster. Let the hips, the sits bones sit back to the heels. It's okay if they don't touch. And then just quietly switch ears. Switch to the other side to stay balanced. Come back into your body and gently just press yourself all the way back up. We're going to move the blocks out of the way. And keep this bolster at a vertical setting. And then we're going to line up the thigh to be parallel with the mat or the bolster. And you can take this left leg back, but I'm going to tell you not to do that yet. We're going to go into a prone twist, and this leg can be sort of a lever that you use to deepen the twist. So we'll shift to have one hand on either side of our bolster. You can almost guide the belly down. And it's okay to adjust this top hip and bring it in to the midline to deepen the twist. And then from here, you can decide if you want to have your right ear down on the mat or potentially your left. If you want that incline back, you would place a block under here. And then you'll settle in. Bring your right ear down. And just know that you can move this left leg back a little bit if you want. Just a gentle twist. Make any little adjustments you need to settle in for a couple minutes. Again, inhale in and then exhale out. And then just slowly press yourself up. We're gonna make our way to the other side. So now you'll line up the side of the left thigh with the short edge of the bolster, and then you can kick your right leg back a bit if you like. From here, we're going to slowly twist the torso toward the mat. Go ahead and let the right hip come forward if needed. And then depending on how much you want to feel this twist, you could take your right ear down to the mat or your left. So go ahead, we'll be here for a couple minutes. Cool size. Take an inhale in and an exhale out. Slowly start to use your hands to press yourself up. And we will make our way to Shavasana. So you have all these props available to you. So feel free to use as you wish. Maybe you cover yourself up with a blanket or bring the bolster back underneath the knees. And we'll be here for about 10 minutes. You won't hear me talking much until I bring you out of it. So the purpose here is to completely relax. Let the legs and the feet turn out. You could have both hands on the belly, or maybe you're comfortable with them just being out by the sides. And I want you to make any little adjustments that you need to fully surrender here to gravity. You can have an eye mask, whatever you need to feel completely supported. And then just settle in from here. Open and close the jaw. Take your head a little side to side. And as you drop in, picture your body about an inch or so underneath the floor so that you have this sense of heaviness, heavier than your body weight, sinking down. No need to focus on your breath. The breath do the work on its own. Notice if your thoughts are getting stuck anywhere, just letting them pass. Stay in stillness. Slowly start to come back to the present moment. Just deepen your breath. Bring a little movement back to the fingers and toes. Take your head side to side. And then just slowly draw the knees in one at a time to the chest. Roll to the right or left side. And then gently press yourself up to a seat. Eyes remain closed. And once in your seat, just let the hands rest in your lap. A little tuck of the chin. And fold your palms together in front of your heart space. And just come back to this intention of rest and restoring. You can come back to this practice anytime we are overwhelmed or just feel overly busy. And we're trying to create a little bit of space in the day. Big breath in and release. Namaste.